What's good, R&B squad? This is Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. The word that I have today comes from a few dreams that I had and some things that the Lord discussed with me during my private time with Him, as well as some scripture that He led me to. And as per usual, as you listen, you will know by the details whether or not this word is for you. Please eat the meat, spit out the bone, take what's for you and leave the rest. And more importantly, please ensure that you are praying as you listen so that you may receive direct confirmation from the Lord as to whether or not this word is for you. So first of all, these are three different words. Some of you are going to be able to relate to all three, others of you to just one or two. Again, please ensure that you are praying so that you may receive confirmation about which ones are for you. Also, I'm recording this at night, so if I sound a little bit quieter in my tone, that would be why. In addition to that, you guys might hear the dog barking here and there. If it gets to be too loud for you, please turn on the closed captioning so that you may receive this word. The first word, I've already put a large portion of it into the community tab, and I'm going to link that post here in the description box so that if you have not looked at it and that word was for you, you'll be able to have a look at it. So again, pertaining to that particular word, I heard the Lord say that your enemy is picking out their funeral outfit. And the context in which the Lord said it was that this individual, what they really wanted was for you to pass away. They wanted you to die, and because they could not make it happen in the natural, they could not attack you in the natural and end your life or unalive you. The next best thing was for them to try to use witchcraft to take you out of this world. And the Lord particularly highlighted to me this individual's jealousy, their envy of you. Because what I saw was this person who had seen somebody in a dress. And the person that they'd seen in the dress, they were envious of that person wearing that dress. And they wanted to look like them. And not just look like them, but it's hard to explain. It's like they wanted to capture the person's entire personality and keep it for themselves. And so they were trying feverishly to look for a similar dress to the one that person whom they were jealous of was wearing, okay? And right when they were doing that, I heard the Lord say morning dress. Morning dress, all right? So if this is for you, this person who is an enemy of yours and they have allowed themselves to be used by the enemy, by Satan, and they have tried to take you out of this life using various means, including witchcraft. The motivation here is jealousy. This person is envious of you. And it's funny because people like that, they will claim all day long that they allegedly can't stand you or they allegedly despise you. And yet these are the same people who keep note of everything that you do, everything that you wear, everything that you like, everything that you dislike. So let's say, for example, you wear an outfit. They will make a mental note of that outfit, or if they can get an actual screenshot, like if you post your stuff to social media, if they can get like an actual screenshot of you in that outfit, they will literally, I kid you not, take a screenshot of your photograph and then go looking for similar outfits. Because at the end of the day, the truth is, they don't despise you. They want to be you. They're just having a hard time because of their emotional dysregulation with admitting that. These are the same people who will claim that they have nothing against you, but then they're sitting in the dark looking for spells at all kinds of ungodly hours of the night, sitting in the dark looking for spells to try to take you out of here. These are the same people who will claim that they're not threatened by you, but then they're over there trying to build their entire personality based on your essence. They want to talk like you. They want to dress like you. They want to wear their hair like yours. They want to do the things you do. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's not so much hatred as it is envy. And even if it is hatred, because you have to really despise someone to want to take them out of this life. Even if it is hatred, the hatred started because of that envy that they couldn't control, that they allowed to fester. Okay? The Lord said mourning dress. That outfit that they're picking out, that dress or that suit or whatever it is that they're picking out trying to look like you, they're going to be wearing that to their funeral. And that's that part of the word. So now moving on to the second part of the word. This is a completely different word. This is a kingdom marriage word. And in this dream, there was a woman and then there was a couple. And the woman, she was arguing with the man. She was arguing with the male kingdom spouse, okay? And when I listened to the argument, what I realized is that she thought he was going to end up with her. For whatever reason, she thought that the male kingdom spouse was going to end up with her, but he ended up with the woman who was supposed to be his wife in the first place. All right. So now this woman who was arguing with him, I was made to understand that she had done all kinds of things to discredit this man. And not only to discredit him, but to break him up or cause him to be separated from this woman that he was now with, which was his actual God-ordained spouse, okay? So here's the thing. Some of the rumors that she spread include that he was with other women. She dragged his character through the dirt. She told people that he was a womanizer. She tried to make his God-ordained wife, the woman he was meant to marry, feel as though she wasn't the only one. So she ran her mouth all over the place about this man. And then come to find out that it was because she wanted him for herself. Okay? She wanted this man for herself, and that's why she did that. She was trying to see if she could scare off his God-ordained wife, the woman he was meant to be with, so that she could have him for herself. So she was trying to sow seeds of distrust and discord between the two of them. And after she had done all of that and discredited the man, come to find out that he was still determined to be with this woman. And the woman's name, his God-ordained wife, I'm not going to say what the name was, and this may be confirmation to someone, but I will say the meaning of the name. And the name means female lamb or female sheep. Let me say that again. Female lamb or female sheep, one with purity. So that's what the God-ordained wife's name meant. It meant female lamb or female sheep or one with purity. All right. And this woman who wanted him for herself, she, like I said, had done everything she could to make him look bad, to discredit him. And it still ended up being that he still wanted to be with the woman that God meant for him to marry. And she was most upset. And the Lord led me to some scripture. And it's Genesis 29, verse 18. I'm reading the NIV version, which puts it so plainly yet so beautifully. Jacob was in love with Rachel and said, "I'll work for you 7 years in return for your younger daughter, Rachel." And I'm going to put that in the description box. So listen, this man, if this word is for you, this man or this woman, brother or sister in Christ, they're determined to be with you. It doesn't matter who says what about you or about them, or who tries to come between the two of you. They're determined to be with you. In this scene, in this dream, this woman had said the worst things about this man. She had really tried to make him seem like he was this terrible human being. And all of that was that so she could get other people to not be interested in him, so she could have him for herself. And let me tell you, this woman, she practically planned a whole wedding in her head. The woman who had run the rumors about him. She had literally planned an entire wedding in her head. She was so sure that she would end up with this man. And then when she realized that he was determined to be with this woman who was really his God-ordained wife, she had to call off the wedding. the wedding that only she planned. This man hadn't said that he wanted to marry her. He hadn't proposed to her or nothing like that. She just wanted to marry the man and went ahead and planned a whole wedding and had to call it off when she realized that he didn't want her. Okay? And now, if this word is for you, just be aware that whatever rumors you hear about your person, those rumors are not true. Look at the source. Look at who's spreading the rumors. If it is an ex-partner or somebody who has an interest in them or somebody who's envious of them, why would you listen to somebody like that? Always look at the source when you hear a rumor about your partner and question their motive. What is the motive? Okay? None of the rumors are true. What is true is that this person's love for you and desire to be with you is real. They only want to be with you. And Jacob was in love with Rachel and worked for her for 7 years. This person only wants you and they're willing to put in the work. Whatever it takes, if that looks like working on themselves, if it looks like working on their finances, some of them are already taking on projects and undertakings that are going to improve them and their lives, and they're doing it with you in mind. Okay, so pay no attention to the rumors. This person only wants you. Now, that being said, there is another word, and this is going to be the final word. And what is interesting about this is that the Lord gave me a very similar word roughly 1 month ago in November. And if I can find that word, I will link it in the description box. If that word was for you, this word is most likely for you as well. And you know, when the Lord gets to repeating himself, especially in such quick succession, he said it last month, he's saying it again this month. It's usually because the thing is established and it will shortly come to pass. All right. So in this dream, there was this couple again, a female and male God-ordained spouses, female and male God-ordained spouses. And the man, somebody on his end, somebody who had had some sort of proximity to him, had passed away. And he invited his God-ordained wife to the funeral, okay? And even though he invited her, she declined on the offer. She decided not to go. And the reason she decided not to go was that even though he had had proximity to this individual who had passed away, she didn't. This wasn't somebody that she had any proximity to. And on top of that, the individual who had died was somebody who practiced the occult. This was somebody who was into occultism. This is somebody who they like to engage in things like shape-shifting. They wanted to do things like end up in people's dreams, show up in people's dreams and stuff like that. And they were basically, the occult was their hobby. That was something that they did as a hobby, something that they used as a means of control. And this was part of the reason why the female God-ordained spouse did not want to attend this funeral. So even though she was invited to it by her God-ordained partner, she decided not to attend the funeral. Okay, and that was it for that part of the dream. But now let me get into the interpretation. So, unfortunately, there's somebody that your God-ordained partner, if this word is for you, has close proximity to in some way, shape, or form. And it may not even be that they're close to that person currently, but at some point they would have had some sort of proximity to this person. So this person could really be anybody. It could be a former coworker. It could be a former business associate. It could be a former partner. It could even be a family member. Although I didn't get too much the sense that it was actual family, okay? It's just someone that your God-ordained partner has proximity to in some way. This person is going to pass away, and your God-ordained partner is going to invite you to the funeral. Now, I should point out that in the dream, the female God-ordained partner, her mother was saying to her, it was short notice anyway. The invite was short notice anyway. It was short notice. This whole thing happened on short notice. And I thought it was odd that she was saying that somebody died on short notice or that their funeral happened on short. It was confusing at first when I was hearing it in the dream, but then the Lord made me understand what it meant when I woke up. So for someone, somebody's going to pass away that had proximity to your God-ordained partner. The reason your God-ordained partner is going to attend this funeral is because they will feel like that's what's socially acceptable. They'll feel a sort of an obligation to be there because other people who were either family to this person or friends or whatever are going to be looking at them and expecting them to be there. That being said, they're going to want to invite you. Reason being, they want to let everybody there know that they're with you. Maybe these people who are connected to this person that they had proximity to oppose your relationship with them. Maybe it's just people that they want to let know that the two of you are together. Because I sensed also that the relationship between the female God-ordained partner and the male God-ordained partner, there was something blossoming there. Either they had just started courting or they were talking about marriage. Okay, there was something significant happening in the relationship at that time. That being said, you will most likely decline. Reason being, you're not going to feel comfortable being there. You may have had some knowledge about this person. And frankly speaking, from what the Lord mentioned in the dream, this person being an occultist, this could be the main reason why you don't want to be at the funeral. Because if that person was an occultist, there are people there who likely are going to be involved in the same thing. So you don't want to have any sort of like connection or affiliation with people like that. So you're going to steer clear. But at the same time, you're going to be wondering if you did the right thing. Because two things, your God-ordained spouse may invite you on short notice. They may be on two minds about inviting you because they don't know if you'll say yes or no. And then when they do invite you, you may feel bad about saying no because you may wonder if they want you there for support. Okay. Now, the Lord, and this is so interesting, the Lord reminded me of elastic when he was explaining this part to me. He reminded me of elastic, and he had me look up exactly what elastic does. So elastic has the property of recovering its former volume after compression. So in other words, elastic can return to its original shape and volume even after being compressed. And I thought that was a really beautiful way to put it, because this is how he is describing your relationship with your God-ordained partner. All right. Have no fear. The Lord has made your union strong enough to be stretched, put on the pressure, and still retain its original strength. Even in the mourning period for your person, your union will still blossom. So even while this connection of theirs is being buried, and even while they're in mourning, your connection is still strong enough. Your union, your relationship is still strong enough to survive that period. So don't be too concerned about hurting them in any way by not showing up at the funeral to be a support to them. Okay? They will understand, especially when you explain to them why you don't want to be there. They will understand. And another thing, the Lord pointed out the phrase short notice to me, because remember, the female God-ordained partner, her mother said the funeral was short notice anyway, and the invite came at short notice anyway. So the Lord had me pay attention to the phrase short notice. And there are two definitions for short notice. The first one is only a short time before something happens. And the second definition is with little warning or time for preparation. Okay, so this is something that will happen very abruptly. This individual who has proximity to your God-ordained partner, they're going to pass very abruptly. And all of this is going to happen very quickly. Very quickly. For some of you, this is somebody who actually antagonized your relationship. I feel the need to mention that. This is somebody who in some way, shape, or form tried to drive a wedge between you and your God-ordained spouse. And that may be your reason for not wanting to attend their funeral. Okay? The Lord even gave me a month. He gave me the month of this individual's passing. But I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want y'all whom this word is for to be going looking to see if what's going to happen to that person in that month. I'm not going to say what month it is. I'm just going to say this, there isn't a whole lot of time.